Lupus is a autoimmune disease, and what that means is our immune system is built to fight infection, are responding to viruses, bacteria, and what lupus is a defect in the autoimmune system, where instead of fighting invaders, foreign invaders that come in, it really attacks the body. And what it does is attacks every system of the body. So one of the things about lupus that's makes it, a bad disease or something that can be a bad disease is that it affects many organ systems. And the eyes, the kidneys, the blood vessels, the heart, the lungs, the skin. So there's not many organs or systems that are sometimes spared. Well, the exact cause of lupus is really unknown, but there are genetic factors, hormonal factors, environmental factors that come into play that cause whatever defect is in your genetic makeup to express it. They say that sometimes even being out in the sun too much can trigger the onset of lupus.
And then also with lupus is that sometimes there's reactions in places where there isn't any need to have any reaction. So some of these issues in terms of good nutrition, everything we eat, every time we interact with the world, we have 1,000 micro injuries to our body. And our body is designed to repair those micro injuries pretty quickly. Yes. And that's why we're supposed to be sleeping good. That's why we're supposed to eat foods that have minerals and vitamins and nutrition, because those are the building blocks of the repair process. But we like to eat a lot of non-nutritional foods that taste good, and they're really full of sugar and full of salt because they taste good, but they really don't have any nutritional value. So not only, it's bad enough that maybe they don't injure us, but for sure they don't help us fix anything.
Well, I first realized that something was going on because I started to get sick. I was used to running and being very active, and my family had just moved over from Saipan. We had been living in Saipan for about 12 years, and when I got here I just found I couldn't do the daily activities that I was used to, and I was experiencing a lot of pain. I just wasn't myself. So since I wasn't somebody who normally got sick, other than during my pregnancies, I became concerned that something was going on. Maybe I was anemic or having some sort of problem. I also wondered, well, I'm just turning 40, so maybe it's just old age. This is what happens. And I remember asking my husband at the time, do you find that you have to constantly take Advil just to function? And no, not really. I was like, well, because I'm taking like 800 milligrams of Advil, just like candy, and that's helping me function. So it was a long process, but eventually they discovered that it was an autoimmune issue that I was dealing with through blood tests and through other testing. It wasn't something I was able to do on Guam. I actually had to travel to the Philippines and then later to North Carolina before the diagnosis was finalized. And it was difficult for me to hear and to accept, because in the beginning I just really thought it was something I could just take a vitamin and it would go away. Truthfully, it was very surprising that I could be dealing with a chronic illness, particularly when I had felt so young and active just before it all started up.
Now, I cope with lupus much better than I did when I first got diagnosed. And that's you just got to take it easy. I mean, the biggest challenge you deal with lupus, aside from all the pain, is fatigue. And I think that's something that affects everybody. It's just learning how to make good choices in the day, like how are you going to spend your time. I don't know if you've ever heard of the spoon theory. The spoon theory is a theory out there that explains what is lupus, and it talks about in a given day you only have X amount of spoons, right? And everything you do, from brushing your teeth to waking up in the morning to brushing your teeth to putting on clothes, requires a spoon. So if you use all your spoons in the beginning of the day, you basically have no energy to get you through the rest of the day. So coping with lupus is just managing your time, just understanding that you can't do everything you used to do before you had this. taking it easy, taking care of your body, keeping stress-free, taking every day one step at a time, and learning how to just pay attention to the signs that your body's giving you. Don't ignore it, because at the end you're going to end up paying for it. So if you know you're too tired to continue to do things or to go to an event and you go anyway, you know the next day you're not going to have a very good day. So it's kind of like making wise decisions and just listening to the cues that your body's giving you.
How we actually cope with it, not just including myself, my husband, and her brothers, were to show her how much we love her. To show her how much we're there for her, regardless the cost of it, the wanting of it. There's the issue when we how my noodles, we'll go out of our way to go get it. There's moments you want to eat McDonald's, 2 hours later, we'll go get it.
Or we'll take her out, we'll take you.
There's moments her appetite changes frequently, where we're like, my God, Jermaine, you just had this, you just had that, where are you putting all your food? And then she starts giving up the negative again. She says, no, if you guys don't want to take care of me, it's okay. So we have to like swallow it again and go do it for her.
Just for her.
Just to show
and
her
then
that.
The weight was a factor too, but you know, her cake, we just gave her the world. I know it was like, you know, going beyond doctor's orders, but I don't know, you just gotta understand, because we cannot, there's things we can't really explain on words. It's just that we just gave it to her.
And one of the things that was brought out at this conference over the weekend, and from us kind of brushing up on our lupus and looking up things, it's really, and someone at the conference gave a whole lecture on how important it is to go back to the basics, the things about living a healthy lifestyle. And I really want to put that, I wanted to make sure we had a moment to say that, you know, in order not to have flares, in order to live as healthy and a good life as possible, it's important to do all the basics, all the things that you hate your doctor says when you walk in. You know, you want a pill to fix this and you want something, but really the things like good diet and exercise and staying away from stressors. And I also always put in, for lupus patients, sun protection is really important, because lupus can affect the skin. But the basics, again, living a healthy lifestyle, eating healthy, exercising, and trying to keep the stressors that can make us all decompensate from time to time.
Taking care of your mind, body, and soul.
And that is really one of the mainstays of treatments for the basic disease in terms of just having a healthy life.